Welcome to a demonstration of the Transportation-Related Turnover Cost Calculator. This tool can help you estimate the cost of a transportation solution to you as an employer, as well as the savings that transportation solution might provide your business through reduced transportation-related turnover and absenteeism. This tool can also estimate how much money you might ask employees to contribute to a transportation solution, depending on your budget. Let's run through the tool with an example employer-provided transportation program. The first sheet in the calculator outlines the purposes of this tool. The second sheet lays out the calculations used in the tool. These calculations are also repeated on the following tabs for your convenience. We will walk through these calculations in this video, and please feel free to read further offline as well. For now, we'll start with the third sheet, the turnover cost calculator. At the top of the sheet, you can see a big box for the estimated savings. The estimated savings is calculated by subtracting the cost of a transportation program from business savings due to reduced turnover and absenteeism. We also provide an option shown below, where an employer can choose how much of the total cost of transportation they cover. The calculator assumes that an employee will cover the remaining cost of the program that the employer does not. We've also provided context for how much that would cost the employee in comparison to riding public transit or owning and driving a car. In order to estimate the cost of a transportation program and the resulting savings from decreased turnover and absenteeism, start with the input section at the top. You can see in this top box that all mandatory inputs are in dark orange and all optional inputs are in faded orange. Fill out the corresponding blue boxes here with your company's information. If you do not fill out the optional section with your company data, the calculator will use national averages instead. The sources are provided in the Data and Sources section. For the example, we will start by using national averages. First, select which industry best matches yours from the list. Then enter how many total employees you have. Then select what type of solution you'd like to test. If you are unsure of what each solution type is, click the link next to this box. In this case, we're selecting an app that allows you to carpool with other people in your area going the same direction. Now we need to determine approximately how far each employee travels. If you're not sure, you can leave it blank. It defaults to 15 miles. Enter in how many employees you think would use this option. It's fine to guess for now. You can play around with this number to understand how it affects the total cost to the company. Finally, if you'd prefer to not cover the entire cost of the solution, enter in the maximum per employee per day you'd be willing to cover. The calculator will take the lower of that amount and the actual solution cost and list that as the cost to the employer. Below this are optional inputs. Here you can enter in an average employee's annual salary, average turnover costs, turnover rate, and how many days transportation would be needed. For example, an employer might develop a solution for every day, or might develop a solution to be used as a backup, to be used occasionally when an employee runs into problems with their normal commute. We've also included an option to include an estimated cost of administering the program. Please add this information if you know it for your company, as it will help give you a more accurate result, but it is not necessary. We're now done entering inputs. We can scroll up to see the final results. Here we can see the cost for turnover and for a transportation program for this example company and compare them. Here we see that there's an estimated savings of $27,300. This solution also covers most of the cost of transportation to the employee. We can also see that an average employee could expect to pay less than $200 annually for their commute. If you want to see what the national averages were for your inputs, scroll down. Here we can see that the average employee annual salary for accommodation and food services is about $25,000, and the annual turnover rate in this industry is about 73%. We also use national averages that suggest about 17% of turnover and 11% of absenteeism are due to transportation issues, to calculate the cost due to employee commute concerns. These transportation averages are not affected by which industry you are in. Down here, we also calculate the cost of the transportation program by multiplying the number of employees covered by the transportation program by the annual workdays they are expected to use the solution by the daily cost of the program. This file also includes a multi-solution cost calculator, which allows you to enter in up to 3 transportation solution options at once. This allows you to either estimate the cost of making multiple transportation options available to your employees, or compare the costs of 3 solutions side by side. Here you can see an example input, where an employer has chosen to provide 3 different types of solutions to their employees, depending on the individual employee's circumstances. In this case, the employer plans to support a carpool app for 50 employees, ride-hail corner to door for 25 employees, and a dedicated shuttle to home from transit for 65 employees. The employer plans to subsidize these transit options by a maximum of $12 per day for each employee. As before, you can see how much the employee would need to pay out of pocket to cover the remaining costs for this transportation solution. This concludes the demonstration of the cost calculator. Thanks for listening.